against XPC. It was shown to me last night by the boys from Blow Your Mind, and well, XPC did a fairly good job blowing my mind against what they did with refugees here with that Jakiro.
Very well said, very well said. I mean, 15-minute game. We've been speaking a lot throughout this tournament about timing windows. And a lot of people don't completely understand how important hitting your timing windows are, because as soon as you go outside of your timing window, the chance of you actually winning drops dramatically. And I'm talking about every minute after that timing window, it's like 10% less chance of you winning. And, you know, we put down the timing window of yesterday's game. I think it was maybe also the refugee game. You know, we said 25 to 35 minutes, and the GGs were called at 35 minutes. The other game was as well. We said 30 minutes. It was 32-minute GGs were called. Now you basically said the timing window here is 20 minutes, and 15 minutes. There it was. GGs were called. So a lot of people don't understand that, but sometimes you can have very weird drafts, very unorthodox drafts. But if you know what your timing window is, you know what you can do within that certain time period. And if you hit that timing window for your draft, the chance of you actually winning, even though the other team might have a superior all-round draft, the chance of you winning is a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, drafting is one of the most important abilities for any captain or team, I'd say, in general. You can, if you really want to see the difference a drafter can make, go and look at PPD. I mean, PPD can lose in the upper bracket final of a tournament, and then just come back later in the tournament with a team that you wouldn't think is necessarily better overall. Maybe one or two players, but he can just outdraft you so badly that it can crush your spirits, and that is really what the drafts come down to. So to see the timing also, and the thing with about how you draft is you have to know how to use it. It's all very well picking the top 10 most picked heroes on the patch. If you don't know what you're doing with them, then it's fairly useless. And XPC has shown a good ability to know exactly what they need to do in the amount of time that they have.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, the Bane pick in the first game, well, apart from the one very long Fiend's grip at the end of the game, it was very underwhelming. To be honest, I felt like XPC probably could have won that 4v5 anyway. But Queen of Pain being picked up now by Refugees. So Jakiro Undying ban being banned out by Refugees. And the Wisp and once again the Doom being banned out here by XPC. First pick Queen of Pain into a Bane Nature's Prophet, then a Spirit Breaker. I do like the Spirit Breaker up against the Nature's Prophet. I really like it.
Yeah, it does seem as a refugee is trying to fight fire with fire here. Queen, the Quap and the Spirit Breaker are going to try and put a lot of pressure on early. XPC again going for somewhat of a push strat. I mean, Bane obviously does very, very well in the early stages. They can set up a number of things, and the Nature's Prophet will have the treants to help him out there. So you can see both teams realizing that those first 15 minutes are all important, and Refugiati this time not going as greedy as they did last time. I mean, you can't expect to survive a laning stage when you have an Ember Spirit and a Shadow Fiend, and like those are your two cores, and neither of your supports out. Okay, well, the task was, I say, slightly aggressive, but the problem was with the Wind Wyvern. The Wind Wyvern's got too many other problems to deal with, to really try and get aggressive. So it was almost too easy for them to just get forced off their lanes, and XPC took full advantage.
Definitely. Following up with the next ban, quite interesting to see that they actually decide to ban out the Shadow Fiend, especially since they have the Queen of Pain. Of course, Shadow Fiend can always come back quite fast, but I mean, normally if you have the Queen of Pain, you are okay with the enemy having the Shadow Fiend, because you will be able to kill her as soon as you hit level 6. 99% of the times, even if the Shadow Fiend somehow gets a pick off on you as soon as you hit 6, even if the Shadow Fiend is 7 or 8 in some cases, you'll still be able to insta-gib her with a Scream into a Sonic Wave. Dazzle being banned out by Refugees, I do like that. I do like that ban out. Dazzle was picked up, I think was like one of the most picked up heroes yesterday, especially by, well, actually quite weird because Refugees actually picked her up so much. But because they have the Queen of Pain and the Spirit Breaker, the gank, potential is real. And having that Dazzle always hanging around to just stop and, turn around a gank, throwing through a Shallow Grave, healing up, then you have to back off, and then TP's are already there. It can turn a gank completely sideways very fast. So I like that ban out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I was just going to say that, like, I mean, their choices on that ban with the Dazzle or the Winter Wyvern. Now, the Dazzle basically prevents any method of them killing the Winter Wyvern. And sorry, the Dazzle prevents any method of getting a kill there. So if you go with the Winter Wyvern, she's going to pop the Cold Embrace, and then Queen of Pain can at least hit the the Sonic Wave or some form of magic damage that might kill off the person inside the Cold Embrace.
Yeah.
The Dazzle doesn't allow that. That's probably why they banned him out there. Legion Commander being picked up here by XPC. That looks like it might be the hard carry here though, for the team. Nature's Prophet probably the offlaner.
Yeah, could possibly be. I have seen Legion Commander actually going up against the Queen of Pain before. You do have heal, of course, the overwhelming odds. Queen of Pain is quite soft to start off with, and in some cases, if you do have a support to back you up, they might just throw the Legion Commander mid. But I do agree with you. Most likely, it is going to be the safe lane Legion Commander. Abaddon being picked up here by Refugees. Once again, showing that early game aggression. They want to shield up. They want to heal up. They want to take the fight to XPC from most likely around the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, Abaddon is a fantastic hero, and I mean, it's a hero I really enjoy. We don't see him often enough. He is one of those heroes that basically just secures a lane for you. You're never really going to lose a lane against, or you're never going to lose a lane when you have an Abaddon to help you out, since the aphotic shield can remove so many of the what do you call it, the stasis effects and all the rest. So
Does
Abaddon
the shield take off Fiend's Grip? I've never tested that before. I know it takes off Nightmare. Does it take off Fiend's Grip?
think it might, but I must see. I haven't played Abaddon in such a long time.
Yeah,
I know that it basically removes everything. I mean, it's very similar in the press the attack that the Legion Commander has. Both of these heroes, I think it's one of 3 abilities that actually removes negative status effects from a hero. So a very, very potent laning support is Abaddon. He can be aggressive if he picks up an early level of Curse of Avernus, but generally you'll see him going for the Mist Coil and the Aphotic Shield, maybe one level of the Curse, just to, harass a little bit. But it really depends on what kind of carry he's going to get in the lane. He can't really get aggressive if he's got a passive type carry with him.
Well, I'm just doing a little bit of research. It seems like the shield will remove Fiend's Grip, like Press the Attack would. So it's going to be interesting to see. I do like that pick up then. But after that, the 2 offlaners, Darkseer and, of course, the Broodmother were banned out by XPC. Legion Commander, Abaddon, Witch Doctor, Windranger, aka Windrunner, for those of you guys that still call it Windrunner like me, being picked up by Refugees. Quite an early game here as well. Is this going to be a safe lane Queen of Pain with a mid Windranger then?
Likely. I mean, the Quap +1 would be a pretty difficult lane to get rid of, and she could do a number there, get herself early farm, get that Orchid going, and then start jumping on heroes. And I mean, an Orchid this game would actually be pretty potent against all of XPC's heroes.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I do think that would probably be the way to go. You can leave the Windranger in mid lane. She's going to be fairly solid there. And XPC then has options on some other mid laners. It's going to be a pretty tough one though, since, I mean, other than the ones we see, Ember's not really a great option against the Windranger. Maybe a TA here, but I mean, I haven't seen any of these teams really keen to go with the TA.
Yeah, well, XPC banning out the Anti-Mage, Refugees going for the Viper. I actually agree with this Anti-Mage ban out because I think Refugees will most likely run aggro. Having a Spirit Breaker as well as an Abaddon and most likely the Windranger or even Queen of Pain in that aggro lane will do significant damage because you can shield up the Spirit Breaker, he can charge in, you can't target him. The Windranger is going to be able to get a shackle after the stun of the Spirit Breaker. It's going to be able to do quite a significant amount up against whoever XPC has on that safe lane. But Timbersaw being picked up, so we've seen this quite a bit from XPC where they have multiple heroes that can fulfill multiple roles. Now we might actually see the Timbersaw going off lane, Nature's Prophet going safe lane, Legion Commander going mid. It might be swapped around. They might actually be running aggro with Nature's Prophet mid. I haven't seen that in quite a while.
Yeah, I don't think the Prophet's going to go mid though. It's just, he's okay there, but he's got no way of actually protecting himself from either the Quap or the Windranger if they jump him. I mean, generally you'll see mid laners that have some form of escape, and if they don't, you'll have a hero that can TP in to save you. And I mean, they don't have the Winter Wyvern or the Dazzle. Again, somehow Tusk has just been ignored in this draft. It's very, very weird to see these heroes just not being completely ignored. But, I mean, if you don't have a Dazzle, a Winter Wyvern, or a Tusk, there's no way you're going to be picking up a hero as liable to get ganked as the Prophet in mid lane, particularly with something like a Spirit Breaker hunting.
Yeah, well, Refugees, their last pickup. If they pick up a Tusk, looking purely at the draft, I'm going to give them this game. Skill-wise, though, I think XPC has it a little bit better than them. I'll give XPC, probably like a 20% advantage regardless, and that's if drafts are even. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
who do you pick here for Refugees?
Like I said, Refugees has just shown a general lack of control in the early stages of their games. That's not to say that they can't do it, they just haven't shown it in any of the games I've been watching of them. So I think a Tusk here would be a very, very good pick. I do agree with you on that. It would allow you to have an aggressive offlane Spirit Breaker. Tusk could do quite a bit of work there. Then you have the Abaddon, just saving the Queen of Pain or the Wind Ranger, whichever you choose to go to the offlane or to the safe lane with. But okay, so they're going to pick up a mid lane Zeus here.
Aggro.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an aggro. I think you send Wind Ranger to the safe lane here, though, since you'll get additional slow out of the Quap, and the Spirit Breaker and Abaddon can provide the rest for you.
I'd most likely send the Wind Ranger to the aggro lane because you can follow up with a Shackle Shot after the Spirit Breaker charge. Queen of Pain, I mean, you have that blink. Sure, Wind Ranger, you have a Windwalk to be able to get out of a safe lane situation, but a blink is always more reliable and more safe to be able to get out if you're ganked. Spirit Breaker, Abaddon, Wind Ranger, you can always have the Spirit Breaker roaming around. Abaddon can just stay there with the Wind Ranger and always keep her safe if she is stunned up. That's what I would have done anyway. But
well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like if you look at it though, the Quap is likely going up against a solo lane Prophet, and I mean, what is Prophet really going to be able to do to a Quap? Or to a Wind Ranger. If it's like, okay, you're going to jump the Wind Ranger, and I just power shot through your trees and run away. So, sure. I mean, I can understand it. I just think the Quap adds more on an aggro lane.
Well, it seems like we are going to be having dual lanes here. Queen of Pain, safe lane, handled by AKI. Powerpuff is playing the Abaddon. Claudio on the Zeus. Meanwhile, it's going to be Immortal Faith on the Spirit Breaker and Hoodoo on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, and for the side of XPC, we have Illusionist leading the charge on the Bane. Keanu will be picking up the Legion Commander, probably going to the mid lane. Razvan grabbing that Witch Doctor. Synergy will be on the Nature's Prophet.
The pause just as the smoke breaks. Oh my word! This is even worse than a puppy pause because this is exactly. I mean, the smoke is still busy breaking. Oh, that's so unlucky. But let's see, the Bane does not have, well, if she goes for Nightmare, let's have a look at the range. If Powerpuff actually turns around right now, he should be able to make it out alive. I think he would not have had that reaction time if this pause did not happen.
Yeah, there was no way that was happening. Illusionist probably would have gotten the sleep, and yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen now. So XPC will be more than a little bit upset about this.
Well, let's have a look here. Are we going to see anything? There's the turnaround, and of course the shield being used straight away. But the Fiend's Grip is actually there, not throwing the shield to start off with. Very well done there by the Queen of Pain to actually try and toggle it down. They're trying to focus on the Abaddon right now. They still might be able to get the first blood. It is going to be Keanu getting it, and they want more. I mean, this is a full 5-man rotation coming through. Are they going to be able to get anything? Possibly just
no mana on the Bane.
Yeah, just going to throw down a ward and, well, no wards.
Yeah, I suppose I could try and use the Treants, but the Treants are up very, very early, so I don't think it's going... No, they could use the Treants. There's enough time, I think, if the Treants are sent to the lanes to... Or sent to the jungle to block some camps at the least.
It will literally be just enough time, I think. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Immortal Faith doing quite a bit of damage up against Razvan. Does have a charge. No, it does not have a charge to actually get out of this one. So, good start off here from XPC managing to get that first blood. They were, I think, if they did not get that first blood, they would have been very unhappy about that pause.
Yeah, they would have been very, very unhappy. And I mean, look, they did have a bit of security in that the Bane picked up the boots of the speed. I mean, that's the second time he's actually done it, that he's grabbed the boots of speed. So definitely, you can see he's aiming for a gank. He's actually sitting behind the lanes. He's going to get himself a second courier in 2 games. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's actually the full bottle up here for the Zeus, and that's going to hamper Zeus's, ability to actually farm in this lane tremendously. We do see, however, Refugees did split up the lane here, sending the Wind Ranger to the top lane. After that, initial gank failed on the bottom side, or on the, well, not failed, after the initial engagement top. So Wind Ranger plus Power Puff on the Abaddon up against a dual lane Bane and Nature's Prophet. Should be quite interesting to see how this matches up.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little killing potential between a Nature's Prophet and a Bane, if we're honest. I really would have been happy to see Bane just hang around the mid lane and just make Zeus's life an absolute nightmare, since they've got a little bit of burst there, and they can actually maybe set up a kill onto Zeus. But up on top lane, I mean, you've got Synergy, who's going to basically try and right-click you and maybe trap you in some trees. That doesn't seem likely to get a kill at all.
Yeah. Especially after you just killed the courier with a bottle in here for Claudio. You would most likely expect the Bane to actually be here, trying to harass out or actually get the kill on Claudio. But we are actually seeing quite a bit of damage coming through. There's the overwhelming odds as well. Shield being thrown up onto the Zeus and straight away just backing off. Timbersaw actually managed to get a kill on the bottom lane on the Queen of Pain. Is there going to be a charge? No, just dodging it at this point. Witch Doctor will manage to get out of that one alive. Immortal Faith has to charge very far away. And they still want Claudio here on the middle lane. They actually don't get the overwhelming odds correctly this time.
Yeah, he jukes very, very well there, but fantastic knowledge of how to use the mechanics of the game there by that Witch Doctor, knowing that if he just fogged up the charge, he could get himself to safety, and does that and saves his team a kill and actually forces Immortal Faith entirely out of the lane. And they've actually reverted to an aggro try-down here at the bottom lane as Refugee, and this makes life very, very simple for Illusionist in the mid lane as well as Keanu.
Yeah, no, definitely. However, you always have to be careful for that Spirit Breaker charging in. The big problem I see here, though, is Zeus having to go all the way back to base, 17 seconds still before he actually gets his bottle up. It's going to be a rough start to this game for him.
Yeah, to say the least. Keanu has been making happy in the mid lane, 12-5 up against the 4-0. So Claudio is having an extremely rough time here. And I mean, the thing is, Keanu has so much sustain that it's going to be very, very difficult for Claudio to actually pull this lane back now. And any sort of rotation could actually result in a very quick death for Claudio.
Yep. Now, of course, the reactive armor is just being procced the whole time with this Queen of Pain, using that Shadow Strike. So quite a good matchup for them. And not Wind Ranger, Witch Doctor is here, of course, with 2 levels up in his Voodoo Restoration. So Timbersaw getting that, second kill will really help him out. He will have his mana boots up shortly. If a Timbersaw gets early levels and early farm, he's quite difficult to stop.
Yeah, he's an absolute nightmare. He's a very much one of the snowballs of the game with something like the Storm Spirit. Not as effective as Storm, since Storm can somehow still recover, but Timbersaw just generally seems to either do amazingly or do nothing. So Masakari getting off to a good start here, is getting quite a bit of farm, and yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. If he continues this way, it's going to be difficult for RFG to counter. They don't have many strength heroes, which is a big plus against him, since he can just absolutely annihilate you with that Whirling Death. But they also struggle a little bit against him, since he's got a lot of sustain, and it's going to be difficult to actually finish him off. Razvan actually getting charged here in the jungle, though.
Yeah, let's just have a look if he's actually going to continue on the charge. Oh, the Nature's Prophet's trying to come in. One more hit needed. Unfortunately, the haste or the speed burst was actually used by the courier. So Nature's Prophet trying to go for that second one. But the charge is still going on the Witch Doctor, and nope, it gets cancelled. They don't actually want to dive too deep because they don't have creep, so they probably would have been able to, would have got a lot of damage. Now, having a look at the Queen of Pain, not going for any levels up in Scream of Pain, putting 2 up in Shadow Strike.
Yeah, it's the best idea. Or never mind, as we see another kill for the side of XPC in the mid lane as Zeus gets wrecked there.
Yeah. Bane coming through with a Nightmare as well as a Brain Sap. I mean, 2 levels up from Brain Sap, that's 160 damage. But bottom lane, we do see an engagement once again coming through. The heals there from the Witch Doctor. Masakari wants to go in with another chain. He manages to do so. No one has actually dropped just yet. Just 1 Whirling Death needed. He does manage to get the Spirit Breaker. He wants to go for more, but Wind Ranger's here right now, and Timbersaw's up right next to the trees. He does get shackled up, and this is going to be the end of his life. but that is still the safe lane and the mid laner coming in towards this bottom lane. So it's opening up mid completely, opening up top, and the Spirit Breaker just TP'd up top. You know, he's just going to try and get some levels up now.
Yeah, and it's just more pressure for XPC. I mean, like I said, they TP the other cores down to the bot lane. That's all they really want. I mean, they'll be happy to trade the Timbersaw for that, because now you start putting damage onto the tower up top, damage onto the tower in mid, which is already down to half HP, and it's costing them economic damage. They have to TP down there, and I mean, yes, it's only 75 gold to do it, but it's still time wasted in their lane, so they're not farming, and your heroes are pushing and constantly just winning the economic battle. And RFG, I mean, I don't know. It seems odd, because you were just saying about how AK not really skilling the Scream of Pain. It generally does go that he'll go 2 levels into the Shadow Strike and then he'll max out the Scream.
Well, double damage rune, hold on, quickly being used right now. The Zeus, I think, is going to drop. There is the ultimate coming through the duel, and well, the first duel victory for the side of Legion Commander. 5-1. XPC just dominating Refugees.
Yeah, and Powerpuff trying to run in there. I don't know where he started off the fight, but I think if he tried to TP in, it might have been a little bit more effective, since it probably would have been able to keep his mid laner alive. But again, I mean, they lose a mid laner, and it's becoming a problem that RFG has no real method of contest against XPC, and we're going to see a dive or attempted murder of Aki down bot lane.
Well, Witch Doctor's coming through, does have 2 levels up in Paralyzing Cask if he manages to get a few lucky bounces. But no, I actually think this ward over here did spot him out. So Queen of Pain will be aware of this and will most likely be standing on this side of, well, should be standing on this side. Bane actually did drop on the top lane. There was a few heroes coming through, 3 hero rotation on the top side. So a counter kill for Refugees, not the best, but I mean, they'll take anything they can get.
Yeah, an important kill there, because the Bane is looking for those levels, particularly that level 6, to just provide the extra little bit of lockdown for any engagement that they do take. So getting a kill on him there, big news, because he was also pretty close to level 5. So we see a charge onto XPC.
Yeah, well, Synergy just been charged right now. There is unfortunately no ultimate through from the Spirit Breaker, but a very good shackle shot coming through. But it's Timbersaw's time to shine right now. There you go, managing to get 2 kills. That, well, it's only 1 level in Whirling Death, but you see how much damage it can actually do, especially if you're up against, if you're up next to trees. Timber's chain actually being maxed out right now, just getting that, you know, range the whole time. Bane managing to get the kill now on mid lane as well. 8-3 at this point, at 8 minutes in the game. I mean, look at the, you know, last hits and the denies quickly. It's 43-12 versus 40-4. The next closest person is Hoodoo on the win range, which is 28-10.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing there, that kill up on top lane for Masakari is that, like, it was the 2 strength heroes that he jumped into. So getting the kill on them was pretty fantastic, and it reduced their HP when he hit them with the Whirling Death as well. So it made life a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, as you're saying, a lot of pressure has been created. They've now taken out this mid lane tower, and charges up top again.
Charges up top. It's a level 8 Timber, so unfortunately they had Scream of Pain, but there's no level 6 from the Spirit Breaker. I think if he actually managed to get a bash or 2, they might have been able to get that kill. The problem though is it's 2 levels up in reactive armor. You've just used your Shadow Strike. It's going to proc the reactive armor instantly, and well, Timbersaw just going straight back into farm. He will most likely have his Bloodstone up at around the 15-16 minute mark, if not earlier, and then he's just going to be a menace to the other.
Yeah, he's going to be an absolute menace. I think he probably is on course for an earlier one than that. I mean,
oh yeah, this might actually be like an 11-minute one.
Yeah, 6 minutes to get, what is it, about 1,000, it's about 2,000 gold, yeah. 1,800 left. Yeah, I mean, he can get that very, very quickly as Wind Ranger drops on the bot lane. And it does look as though XPC's just decided, let's just 4-man everywhere, or, you know, 4 or 5-man everywhere, and Refugee doesn't really have the line up to fight this. Quap's not in any condition to take the engagements, and Zeus as well is just busy just trying to farm out the jungle.
Once again, a charge up onto the Timbersaw on the top lane. There's the Scream of Pain actually being used, not actually getting any, well, actually not hitting on top of the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw is just going through, getting a double kill. I mean, this Timbersaw is man-moding 2 heroes that just blew everything they had on him, and he doesn't care. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Tier 2 is being pushed out. 30 damage from the Legion Commander, so that's 3 dual victories already. Are we going to see another one? No, just overwhelming odds. And, well, 2 seconds, 1 second needed. Unfortunately, did not have his duel up just yet.
Yeah, well, he's just going to get healed up and will be able to make his way to safety. The charge does come out. Oh, never mind. Well played there. And Claudio's going to get turned around on the Bane ulti and Witch Doctor ulti combining to finish off the God of Thunder.
Oh, this is a very big dive here from Immortal Faith. He does not have his ultimate. He's going in extremely deep. Does manage to actually get two bashes up onto the Witch Doctor. Are they going to get another one? No, they don't. And there's the Bane coming through on this Queen of Pain. This Bane just doing so much. Queen of Pain, is she going to be able to get out of that one alive? She should. The Shackle Shot actually does land on Bane. So this is going to be a few kills going the way of Refugees. 3-4-1 trade-off, I think, or 3-4-2 trade-off. 3-4-1. 3-4-1 trade-off.
Yeah, the end part of that was a little bit greedy. I think XPC probably should have just backed out when the Legion Commander went down. But they decided to hang around, lost another 3 heroes after that. But they're still far ahead enough that I don't think they'll be too stressed. Obviously won't want to repeat that, but I mean, they're basically taking real estate and, well, Abaddon's eating another death in the mid lane. Keanu is showing no mercy today.
And that was another duel victory. 7,500 net worth lead for XPC at 11 minutes in. That is tremendous. That's a huge margin.
Yeah, that is enormous at the moment because it's basically it's a free. What the hell's the item called now? Not a Demon Edge, the baby one. It's a free. Yeah, it's a Demon Edge, man. What am I saying? It's basically a free Demon Edge from just playing correctly. And Aki, well, he was targeted for the next death there up on the top lane, but this is basically what XPC is able to do. They can send 4 heroes to one lane and they can use the one to just push out the others, and that just makes life incredibly difficult for RFG as we see a sleep onto Claudio, forcing a turnaround there.
Oh, shield's being used. Are they actually going to be able to do anything? The charge actually going to be coming through right now onto the Bane, and well, I think Bane might just drop because it is at level 6, but the Spirit Breaker, well, the Timber Sword actually just come in. The ultimate is being thrown down by those used, but there's the Witch Doctor. He does get stunned up instantly. That's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Refugee will be very happy with it.
Yeah, they will be a little bit happier than XPC. XPC obviously getting it targeted there, but again, they got the dual damage win, and they only lost 2 supports, so not the end of the world, although they probably would have wanted to pick up at least one other player from RFG's side.
Yeah, Timbersword does have his Bloodstone up, of course, getting that extra proc when they killed the Spirit Breakers. So did have his Bloodstone up just under 12 minutes. I mean, if you know, if he manages to get like 3 or 4 more charges on, then especially at this time, well, at this point in the game, it's going to be tremendous for him. They aren't going to be able to kill him, and you know, he's just jumping in, going balls deep the whole time, and they can't really do anything about that. However, a few good pickoffs from Refugee has put them back into this game, not completely yet. If you have a look at the net worth graph, it's sort of stabilized out. That doesn't mean that they're making back, but it means they aren't losing as much as they were previously, because it was a very steep curve.
And I mean, the thing is, a lot of that curve is actually just towers, so it's bigger than it appears because of the real estate that XPC does have in their favor.
Very true.
And I mean, if things do continue this way, though, RFG really needs to get more than just pickoffs on the supports, because very, very quickly we're seeing that Legion Commander become, you know, she's going to be incredibly terrifying if she can continue getting dual victories almost for free at the moment.
Oh, Zeus Ultimate scouting out that they're going into Rush, and there's a big wraparound coming through now from the side of Refugee. Are they actually going to contest this? The Wind Ranger is also TPing in. They should actually be able to get here in time. Let's have a look here. Is there going to be a smoke up, or they're all just standing behind? What? Oh, wait, there's the smoke.
Smoke coming from the courier. I was just checking. I mean, nobody had one, so XPC not finishing this quickly enough, so they might be able to turn things around. Claudio is going to be the first one spotted, and now XPC knows what's up.
Well, Keanu wants to go and just use the pressure attack, and the Bane ultimate coming through. Witch Doctor ultimate being used as well. Good Queen of Pain scream coming through, managing to catch 3, but there's the duel. The winner actually does get used. Queen of Pain might actually drop from this. Unfortunately, they're all so low. They just do not have the extra little bit of damage that they needed, and that's basically a full team wipe for the price of nothing. A huge Queen of Pain ultimate coming through. It just did not do enough. GG, well played. That's 2-0 for XPC. Both games only lasting 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, again, as I said, RFG, they just haven't shown this ability to fight in the early stages, and XPC almost seems to specialize in that manner. So RFG, unfortunately, they tried a different strat this time. I think the Zeus pick might have been a bit of a mistake. Maybe sending the Quap to the mid lane there would have been a little bit better. But yeah, it's just, again, just odd picks sometimes not working out for them. And unfortunately, you can't really bank on a Timbersaw somehow getting a solo kill versus a dual lane. It's just weird. But XPC continuing to dominate here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Timbersaw, master carry, just playing out of his mind. 560 GPM at 15 minutes in the game. That's a lot. That really is a lot. Sitting 7-1 and 4. Legion Commander sitting 7-1 and 4. I would have been happy with any other pick except for the Zeus. I really like the draft from Refugee this time around. I just would have liked something other than the Zeus in that middle lane.